Go.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Sus Faction.
Today is an Isella-centric episode, and I'm Kyle,
And I'm Isella,
and
and
we're
we're
your
your hosts. So, I am going to talk today about someone that we have heard about, probably watched some shows about, but don't actually know the full story of. So, Sophie Friederike Auguste von Anhalt-Zerbst, or as history remembers her, Catherine the Great. I don't know about you, but when I find a series about a historical figure that's well done and entertaining and informative, I feel like I need to know more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I did after I recently binge watched the Hulu series The Great with Elle Fanning. Did you watch that?
No, I didn't. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh, it's really entertaining. In the opening, it has this cute little asterisk, though, that says an occasionally true story. So,
Okay.
so I wanted to know, what is the true story? What really happened? Who really was Catherine the Great? And how did that whole thing actually play out? So, lucky for you guys, I found her story.
Sweet. All right, well, I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay. Catherine was born Sophie in a small German-speaking state on May 2nd, 1729. Her father was a general in the Prussian army at a time where it was a fastly growing, powerful, and fear-inducing empire. Her mother wasn't happy with this small life that they were living and believed she deserved more. So, as moms seem to do in some of these stories, she believed that her daughter, Sophie, was her way to get it. So, despite her mother's attempts to make her the perfect princess with tutors, servants, and ladies in waiting, Sophie enjoyed mingling with the common folk. She developed a passion for horseback riding and bird hunting and was often called a tomboy.
That wouldn't fly today.
I know. When she was 7 years old, she became ill and was bedridden for a month with coughing fits that left her spine twisted and deformed. I hate that they say deformed because,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nothing a chiropractor couldn't fix, right?
Right.
Her mother was appalled and hired a bone setter to create a corset to straighten Sophie's back. It made it difficult for her to eat, and she spent her time indoors at the library for many months until her back finally straightened.
Okay, question.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that cause, like, if she was ever ill or ever had to, like, wear something like that, wouldn't they, in that time period, consider her quote unquote lame and like give her like lower her prospects and everything?
Yes, it would, but I think that because her family, she was already a princess.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think it did much to.
I guess they could hide as much as they wanted.
Yeah, I'm sure that they were hiding all sorts of things. The bone setter was actually the same person who did the beheadings in her small town.
Oh,
So
wow.
the executioner was also the bone setter.
Yay.
Finally, when Sophie was just 11 years old, her mother's friendship with the Prussian King Frederick III paid off. The king recommended her as a match for the German-speaking Duke Peter Ulrich. Or Ulrich. I'm not sure. Probably Ulrich because it's Russian.
I would assume Ulrich.
Okay. Peter was only 12 years old and already widely considered to be one of the world's most eligible bachelors. When Sophie met Peter later that year, she noticed that he was sickly and skinny and not very bright. He spent most of his time talking about soldiers. In 1741, a year after Sophie met Peter at a party, he became more desirable as a husband. His Aunt Elizabeth seized the Russian throne and adopted him as her son and heir. In 1744, Sophie was summoned to be judged by the Empress. Sophie's mother had gotten her wish. Her father, however, made her promise not to convert to the Russian Orthodoxy because he was a devout Protestant. She arrived just in time for Peter's 16th birthday. He seemed childish. Peter went on and on about soldiers and army drills, and he showed very little interest in her. Nevertheless, Sophie put many hours into learning the ways of Russia, the language, the culture, and the religion. She worked late into the night to memorize Orthodox prayers in Russian. The long hours of studying and the cold Russian climate took its toll on her, and she became ill.
Oh,
The
she's doing a lot for this man.
Mm-hmm.
Better appreciate.
Yeah. The Empress Elizabeth took notice and nursed her back to health herself, so that once Sophie was well, she could marry Peter. Sophie converted to Russian Orthodoxy in 1744, and she was rechristened as Catherine Alexeyeva. August 21st, 1745, Catherine married Peter. While Catherine had made herself sick, becoming and absorbing all things Russian, Peter still spoke German and openly mocked the Orthodox faith. Theirs was not a match made in heaven. Peter openly declared he did not love Catherine, and she was disgusted by his immaturity. So I'm going to go really quickly. I'm going to go into a little bit about their marriage, but it just shows you a little bit of motive for what is to come. This marriage did go on for 18 years before Catherine made the big moves. So to start off, Peter treated Catherine coldly, and on some days, he made her dress as a soldier and stand guard outside his room.
Oh, no. Oh, that just pisses me off just thinking about it.
Not only that, Peter gifted her a dead rat that he had punished for being a bad soldier.
Oh, what?
I think that's meant to intimidate her a little bit. He's like, you need to be my soldier outside my room. And then he's like, look what I did to this soldier.
Oh, yeah. And how childish, too.
Mm-hmm. Peter also drank too heavily and openly chased after the ladies at court. He threatened Catherine that if she complained about his behavior...
Sorry. The window's open.
It's okay. That if she complained about his behavior, he would divorce her and send her to a convent to live as a nun. The Empress Elizabeth made court very lonely, sending away any of Catherine's ladies-in-waiting whom she became friends with. Aww. And eventually sending away Catherine's mother.
Oh, no. And that's like all she had, really, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because only her mother came with her to Russia. The rest of her family, her sisters and her father stayed back behind because her father was of a high rank and needed to be there. He was a general.
Right.
So Catherine spent her loneliness reading and writing. She absorbed all of the history and philosophy that she could and became interested in the writing of the Enlightenment. One day, when she was 23, Catherine locked eyes with a high-ranking official at a party. He was charming and soon would be spotted by her side at future parties. She felt her loneliness melt away, and soon she became pregnant. In September of 1754, Catherine gave birth to a baby boy who was immediately snatched from her arms and given to the Empress Elizabeth.
What? Why?
Elizabeth named him Paul. Now, the reason why is because Elizabeth had no children of her own, and she wanted all the babies. So yes, she took Paul from Catherine, and then Catherine became ill again. Catherine again becomes ill and has to wait 6 weeks until she is able to catch a glimpse of her baby boy. She wasn't allowed to attend Paul's baptism and had to bribe servants to learn about his well-being. To regain her sanity, Catherine returned to her reading and writing. She noticed that Elizabeth didn't concern herself with governmental affairs. So Catherine vowed, ... to be a different kind of empress and decided to plot her revenge.
Ooh, it's getting juicy.
In 1757, Elizabeth gets suspicious of Catherine, but Catherine is able to ward her off by announcing another pregnancy. Catherine gives birth to a daughter, whom she tries to name Elizabeth, but the Empress won't allow it, and instead names her Anna, after Peter's mother.
Wow.
Yes, the Empress steals Anna away from Catherine too. Sadly, Anna passed away in 1759 at the age of 2. Both women were there for her passing. In 1760, Catherine begins a romance with Gregory Orlov. You remember the handsome, high-ranking official that she made eyes with?
Yeah.
That is Gregory Orlov.
Oh, cool.
So, he was described as a giant man, rock solid, and fearless. Quite the opposite of her husband, Peter.
Oh, yeah, very.
In December of 1761, with the Empress near death, nobles worried that she had not named a successor. But in January 1762, she passed and Peter was named emperor. Catherine mourned the Empress with respect and devotion, winning respect from both nobles and serfs alike. Peter was making enemies left and right. He rarely visited Elizabeth in mourning and cracked off-color jokes that made others wince. He also pledged loyalty to Prussia and signed a treaty giving land back to Prussia that Russian armies had fought so hard for. Peter also attacked the Orthodox Church by trying to force the priests to wear Western coats and shave their beards. So some of the
Go ahead.
Some of the things that Elizabeth could have been made fun of for him to be talking so poorly of her was that, and I think this is awesome, by the way, Elizabeth loved to dress as a man, so she would throw balls where men had to come dressed as women in the giant ball gowns with the wigs and the makeup, and women had to come dressed as men in coat and tails.
That's awesome.
I know, isn't that? I think that's so fun.
Making men feel the pain that women feel every day.
Yes, and that was the Empress Elizabeth that started that. Catherine continued it.
That's so cool.
Because it's
really
fun.
Cool. Yeah.
It seems a lot of fun. I don't know.
Right. It's like, I mean, it's a costume party, but also it's kind of a little bit of like, haha, like a wink or a nod to the men, like that they have to dress up as women. I think that's cool.
Yeah. Elizabeth also had several lovers, both male and female.
That was the one thing, like, that all the Catherine the Great rumors I heard was that she had a lot of lovers, and that she was known for being very, like, promiscuous or whatever, but that she and that she really loved horses.
Yes.
But I know that, like, obviously a lot of it was like rumor and stuff from people who didn't favor her.
Yeah, that's very true.
But she's I mean, her name is, we know her as Catherine the Great, so obviously, like, she did some things right, because we don't know her as something negative. We know her as something positive, but
yeah, very true, very true. Yes. So Catherine had a few lovers. Only one, though, while she was married to Peter.
Oh, right on.
So any lover she had after that, it didn't matter. She wasn't married.
Right. Exactly.
And the Empress Elizabeth had way more.
Yeah.
She threw extravagant parties, spent a lot of the treasury. Elizabeth was really about serving herself. And that's one of the things Catherine didn't want to carry on, but she did carry on a few of the things that Elizabeth did.
Do you think that maybe a lot of, like, the negative stuff that we hear about Catherine the Great was actually said in reference to the Empress instead, and then people just mistook it for being Catherine? Like, I mean, I feel like that could be a possibility, that, like, people were saying negative things about the Empress, and then people were mistaking it for them talking about Catherine and her.
It's possible that the Empress Elizabeth's deeds were used more as inspiration for the rumors that circulated later about Catherine.
Yeah.
The rumors were started by Catherine's own husband.
Yeah.
Peter. One of which that she made love to a horse.
Right.
He made that.
Right.
Rumor.
I know he made that up.
Yep. He did. Okay, so here we are. Spring of 1762. Catherine has a secret baby with Orlov. A son that she sends away to live in the countryside. So, if you're doing some math, you're realizing that Catherine was pregnant when Elizabeth passed, but hiding it because Elizabeth has stolen every other child she had.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So Catherine had a secret baby that she sends away. So she still doesn't get to raise this child, but it's to protect him.
Yeah.
And then summer of 1762, Catherine has to make a move. One of her spies had been caught, but everything was ready. So it was either go time or get caught. Catherine raced by carriage to St. Petersburg. She had been staying in the summer house apart from Peter. She came to a halt at the barracks of the palace guard. The guardsmen were waiting there, in formation. Their drums rolled as she stepped out of the carriage. Orlov raised his sword. "Hurrah for our little mother Catherine," he cried. The officers of the guard knelt and kissed her cloak. A roar went up. The guards lead her through the barracks and all the way to the Kazan Cathedral, where the Archbishop proclaimed her Empress of Russia in the eyes of the Orthodox Church.
Oh, snap.
As any politician, Catherine needed to control the narrative. So she sent messengers to the countryside with the announcement that Peter had betrayed the country and its people. She had seized the throne in order to save the church and protect the empire. It wasn't long before Peter heard of the coup. He reportedly turned to his mistress and said, "I told you, that woman is capable of anything." Which is a compliment, I think.
It's a very good compliment. He didn't say that B word. He said that woman is capable of anything. Yeah, she is. Watch what I'll do with you.
Mm-hmm. Many of Peter's troops defected, so he stepped aside and handed the throne to his wife.
Nice.
He was done. He was not going to fight her. Catherine had him imprisoned in the summer palace and separated from his mistress. 2 weeks later, she received a letter from Orlov's brother Alexei, informing her of Peter's death. There was some controversy as to how this death occurred.
Yeah.
The Orlovs, that, you know, the Gregory and his brother Alexei, they say that Peter was trying to escape and they accidentally killed him while trying to detain him. I'm like, that's her lover. Maybe he did it as a gift.
Right.
Rumors surfaced that Catherine had Peter killed because as long as he was alive, he was still a threat. And some rumors even stated that Gregory Orlov had him murdered to show Catherine how much he loved and supported her. Either way, Catherine was now the lone ruler, Empress of Russia, at 33 years old.
That's crazy.
Pause.
Okay.
And that's where I'm going to leave you until part 2.
And I don't like cliffhangers.
Well, next time we're going to talk a little bit about how she ruled, what she was like as an empress, some really cool story that I recently learned that was not covered in the TV show.
Sweet. So you'll get some extra.
So you'll get some extra. But yeah, next week will be part 2.
Awesome. Well then, okay, I guess I can wait till next week. Well, then I guess, again, thank you guys for listening. Be sure to come back for another episode.
We post every week on Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And remember, trust no one, question everything.
And you can find us, or if you want to send us stories, you can email us at susfactionpod@outlook.com. Again, if you want to send us your stories, it's susfactionpod@outlook.com. And our Instagram
at susfactionpod. And I post a teaser every Monday night as to what that week's episode will be.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys.